What is up, thrill seekers? Today I am going to be talking about Chocolate Town coming to Hershey Park in 2020. So, yeah, let's just jump right into it here. Yeah. Chocolate Town, it's looking awesome. Of course, lots of people predicted, yeah, they're going to add a new B&M Hyper and redo the entrance. And I was totally on board that train. And that's what happened, but even more. As you can see here in the animation, there's a front entrance there, but they also have like this whole front area. It's sort of like if you've ever been to Universal Orlando, I think it's called City Walk, where there's like that big part in front of the entrance where in front of the entrance where you can grab food and get merchandise and stuff like that. I'm thinking it's going to be sort of like that. Of course, they don't really know exactly what's going to be there. Like, if you saw, instead of having it be like, um, oh, it's going to be this restaurant, it's going to be that restaurant, the signs in the animation were kind of just said food, like restaurant or ice cream parlor, retail, stuff like that. Um, wow. So we kind of have sort of an idea. But still, I think this is going to be an awesome expansion for the only for the front of the park, and then even once you get into the park, like you saw there, the Kisses fountain, that big like gate, really the new front entrance, that's gonna look awesome. The Hershey fountain with the new B&M Hyper running around it. That's going to be super, super awesome. So I am super, super excited about that. Yeah, I think that this new expansion is going to be great. I have never been to Hershey Park, um, but um, I've heard from people that they are actually moving the carousel, which is interesting. So yeah, that's a thing. Um, and yeah, I just think this is going to be an amazing little part of the front, especially that Kisses fountain and the coaster running around it. That's going to be a great sight once you run it, once you get in. It's kind of sort of like what Cedar Fair is doing with coasters at the front, but it's not actually like over the entrance or anything like that. But talking about the B&M Hyper, they're not really releasing any statistics or anything for it until next summer, I think it was, or next spring. So we don't actually really know what uh, we don't really know all of like the layout or anything. There's been a couple little like predictions. I'll put one on the screen playing now. I think this one seems pretty accurate. Um, at least I probably am picking one that's pretty accurate. But from what I've seen, it looks like a out and back layout. It looks like it's going to kind of out and back. It's not fully out and back. It doesn't look like, at least. It looks like, just from what we see in the pictures, it looks like it goes up the chain lift, down the first hill, up one other, and then goes into some sort of like hammerhead turn type thing, turnaround, and then comes back. Um, we don't really know if it's on the far side or the clothes side or anything like that. I think it's on the far side from what it looks to be, and then it goes 2 airtime hills, which kind of give me like a Mako type vibe from it, and I've heard that lots of people love Mako. I haven't ridden it. Hopefully I'm riding it next year, but with like the big airtime hill and then the kind of smaller one, that'll give you some good ejector. And then it's kind of like goes into kind of like a what's it called, treble clef, kind of like what Fury 325 has, at least is what it looks like. And then it goes over the lake into an airtime hill and kind of swooshes around that Kisses fountain, which again, gonna be amazing, I think. Great like picture spot. Go around there, go up into the mid course, and then kind of turn around into the brake run. It's not really a mid course, it's kind of like just 2 brake runs so that they can hold more than one train. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty good B&M Hyper. Don't think the park needed this coaster just because they have Sky Rush, which is already a Hyper. I know that this is going to kind of more focus on floater versus Sky Rush. At least what I've heard is more ejector airtime hills. So yeah, not really like sure if they did though need this coaster. I feel like there's some other models that they should have gotten, but this is definitely going to give them a great top 5. I mean, they have Sky Rush, soon this, which is unnamed by the way, Storm Runner, Fahrenheit, and Great Bear. That's a pretty good top 5. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but yeah, that's a pretty good top 5 right there. So that's going to be great. In terms of stats for this coaster, we don't actually really know any of the stats other than it's the tallest coaster, the fastest coaster, and the longest coaster. And that's really all that we know in terms of the stats of this coaster. So it's going to be over 212 feet tall, over 75 miles an hour. Oh, by the way, not the tallest, fastest coaster in the world, just at the park. And I think the permits that everybody was talking about were for, I think it was 222 feet tall, which makes it probably not going too much faster than 75, probably like 76, maybe 77, honestly. And longest, let's see, how long is Sky Rush? Let's see here, length. Sky Rush is 3,600 feet long. So it's gonna be longer than that. Is really all we know. It's gonna be most likely 222 feet tall, because I think that's what the permits were for. Probably somewhere around 76, 77 miles an hour, and more than 3,600 feet long. So those are the stats for the coaster. But anyways, I think this is going to be a great expansion. I think the initial part before the entrance will be great, because entering the park, let's say you get there decently early in the morning, right? You want to eat something like some breakfast or maybe some lunch if it's like around noon when you're getting into the park, or noon or 1 before you get into the park. Then I think that's a really good option. Of course, it is Hershey Park, so I'm guessing that they're going to have some decent food in the park. But really, I'm guessing, not totally sure. I'm guessing that they mainly just have sweets that are really good in the park, you know, because it's Hershey Park. Um, so I think I'm again just an assumption that there will be better food outside of the park. So I'm guessing like before you go into the park or at once you get out of the park. I think that it would be a great area to grab something to eat. Grab maybe a coffee, some ice cream, you know, something like that. Um, or if you have some sort of like family member where you want to ride a whole bunch of roller coasters, but they want to like go with you, but they think it's like too expensive to get in or something like that. They can just hang out in that little area while you ride roller coasters, or you know, something like that. So I think that area is going to be great. And then of course the B&M Hyper. The only B&M Hyper that I've actually been on is Apollo's Chariot. I think I'm going to be hopefully riding more next year, in terms of what I'm planning for next year. That's gonna be right, but not totally sure. Hopefully, but yeah, Apollo's Chariot was great. I think probably in my top 10, definitely in my top 15, if not my top 10. Uh, so yeah, I think this coaster is going to be great. Love ejector airtime, and it looks like it has a little ejector hill, um, which even though it's not much, it's still something. But yeah, I'm super excited for this whole expansion in general. And that's really all I have to say about it. Post your thoughts in the comments below of what you think of the all-new Chocolate Town coming to Hershey Park in 2020. And with that, I will see you all next time. Peace out.